when I was pinning the house together, the logs, the rebar that I used for pins, I made sure, you can't really see it now, but you see where there's orange paint. I just took some orange marking paint and I painted that to make sure that I was well outside of where the door would be, and I didn't put any rebar. Well, now that I'm putting wider door in, I now have rebar in the way, so I'm having to work around it, and it's really not going to be a problem except for cutting across the very top. I've got rebar in the way, so that's going to be kind of tricky. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. It may just be a bunch of sawzall and hammer and chisel work. Chainsaw is certainly not going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and set up and take a chainsaw and cut the centerpiece out and get the bulk of the logs out of the way. Then I'm going to come back, and I've got these boards set up here sort of as a guide, and then I'll come back with an electric chainsaw because it's a lot lighter and it's a lot easier to maneuver. It is for me anyway. And then I'm going to I'll actually cut the door opening all the full width. Get that done, and then I'm going to tackle the top. Like I said, not sure how I'm going to do it yet. Figuring it out as I go. And if I wanted just to put a standard 36-inch door, it's already ready for it. All I can do is just cut it out. But, you know, make changes as you go, so you just have to adapt. Let me go grab a chainsaw and see if I can make a hole. We have a hole. This sucks. Okay, now it won't go anywhere. Got this first door buck set up here. I got my holes marked and drilled. I drilled them into the logs behind it just to spot it. Now I've got to take this out of the way, take a chainsaw and cut a groove in the face of the logs and then put a piece of Romex in there. What that's for is to get a light switch about halfway up the wall, you know, regular height for a light switch. And I can run the wire in there now and tie into it later on. And it'll all be hidden in the between the logs and behind the door buck. Now I'll just get my holes marked and get my lag bolts installed and start cleaning up all this mess. We're supposed to have a snowstorm coming in tomorrow, and I really don't want all this sawdust sitting on here, just holding moisture and getting packed in all these cracks. What I'm doing, I'm going through and marking roughly the center of each log. That way I can run a lag bolt right through the heart of each log. Now I'll just drill the counter bores and then drill the holes, bolt it up. time for a new battery. Okay, I've got just enough daylight left to finish cleaning up. Door bucks are in. I'm not worried about the roof settling now. That was my main concern with this big hole cut in there. I was going to use an 8-foot door. Just not going to do it. For me to put an 8-foot door in there, I was going to have to cut all the way up to the center of that log next to the top one. I'd only have 1.5 logs above the door to hold up this whole center section of the roof, which is the heaviest part of the roof. It's not that important to me. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a taller door, but I don't care. You walk in and out of it. I don't have to duck. No one in my family's gonna have to duck. It's a standard door. So we're gonna live with it. That's it. Door bucks are installed. I've got to get some work done on the bottom, and I'll get another 4x run across the bottom. Get that done for my transition to set on. After that, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess it's time to start putting floor joist in and working on the inside. If I get a floor in here, then I can get some scaffolding and start trying to close the gable ends in. Going to take a lot of scaffolding because those gables are really tall. But another one checked off the list.